Hello from our summer home. So today I want to show you something that I gave my daughter for her birthday. I made her this little arty bag with all the things to draw mandalas and paint mandalas. And we made quite a few of them. And they're really fun, and you don't need anything special to make them. That's the best part. But what I want to show you today is that you don't need anything like that. You don't need the dotting tools, you don't even need acrylics. You could paint with other kind of paints. And I'm gonna show you how to come around all these challenges so that you can make some art on vacation, wherever you are, with whatever you have at hand. First of all, paints. I use acrylic paints. They are very suitable for painting on stones and other kind of stuff like that. But if you don't have them, you can even use nail polish. And you can also draw mandalas with your colored pencils, just the colors won't be so bright as they are with acrylics. But it's still better than nothing. We've drawn on the stones a lot of times before, and it was always very fun. And sometimes the results are beautiful even if you do it in colored pencils or even just graphite or ballpoint pen. But if you want to make a mandala, then you would need some kind of dotting tool. Now, as I've shown you, there are professional dotting tools. They are usually made for dotting nails. But if you don't have that, of course, there are workarounds. We are at Very Arty Fairy. She makes all kinds of stuff from junk, I guess. And of course, this is no exception. So if you don't have a dotting tool with you on vacation, which is quite often, many of us don't. I have never had it before. I've just bought it now for my daughter. But if you don't have it, of course, no problem. You can use a bamboo skewer, or even a screwdriver would work, or a toothpick. Or you can use different sized pins. These are really great. And you just stick them into a corkscrew or something like that, or into your eraser, and this works just fine. I'll show you with these tools so you see that it can be done and it's no problem, even if you have nothing like that. If you don't have something to rest your stones on, like I made my daughter that little pillow, don't worry about it. You can definitely just take a piece of rag, cloth, towel, whatever, just put your rock on it and it will not move and it will stay nice and safe while you paint on it. Just don't forget a rag. You will need a rag. Let's get to it now. If you need some inspiration, this book is really good in my opinion. It's originally in German language from Natasha Alexander, and it has beautiful mandalas and quite useful. Or you can just Google it on Pinterest or wherever and you'll find a lot of different patterns. Of course, you can choose to make your own, and that's always the most fun. Now let's try. You've got three options here. You can either paint directly on the stone, and this is okay if the stone is like this, very pale and without any crazy pattern. If the stone was much darker or had a very distinct pattern, then it's probably better to use one of the other two methods. One of the methods is to just paint a circle or any other kind of shape first and fill it in with color and then paint dots on top. I only painted this rock, all others were made by my daughters. Or you can paint the whole rock and then add small dots on top. If you don't have a compass and you want to start with a circle, find a lid or something that fits your stone nicely and just trace around it. And here we've got a circle. And in this case, you need a brush to color it in, of course. But if your stone is like this, you would actually not need to do this. You can if you choose a design like this, but you don't have to. It's always nice to have options. Circles are tricky. Our minds can easily see if the circle is wonky. I'm not sure why, but we can see circles very well. And watch that there is no trace of water on your handle, otherwise it can ruin your little painting. That's why you saw me wipe it off. If needed, you can make more than one coat, but you just need to wait for them to dry in between. Let's wait for this to dry. One thing I forgot to mention before, you can also use your tools like this pencil to paint bigger dots. You want to do that? Just push your pencil into the paint and take care that nothing is hanging on any side, and just push it into the middle so you get a nice big dot. Then we'll make a circle of small dots all around. As you can see, my circle is far from being perfect, but that won't show in the end because it will be so full of these little dots that usually people don't notice these little imperfections. Now it's better to do each dot separately. As you can see, I am applying paint onto my pin every time I'm stamping it. This way the dots will be the same size. And of course you can always move your rock. And here I don't like exactly how this paint sits, so I will just adjust it. It's your art. You can do whatever. I think it's always better to adjust the angle so that you feel comfortable. I'm already not positioned optimally because I'm recording and I don't want you to look at my head. But if you're not recording, take advantage and just position yourself in the best angle possible. If you get your tools or hands dirty, wash them, because otherwise you will bring all the dirt. Now I decided to make metallic little dots all over, and whenever you work with the metallic paint, always stir it, even if you just worked with it. The metallic particles really like to sit down, and if they're not nicely mixed into the adhesive, everything into the binder, everything will just fall off, or there will be no pigment. So it's good to stir all your paints, but especially for metallics, it's really important. I want these dots to be some of them big and some of them small. So I will take my skewer and make a few big dots here and there, and I just want them to be random. With the dotting tools, this is a bit easier. You don't get these ragged edges, but you can always just push once or twice more and it will be fine. So don't feel like you have to have the dotting tool to make it. And now I'm just adding the small ones all around with my skewer. And you can play around with colors. I really like the kind of rainbow effect or ombre effect when one color gradually transforms into another color. If you hold your skewer directly perpendicular to your surface, the dots will probably be more nicely round than if you do it like this. But experiment, you might find that it works better for you if you hold it in another way. There's no wrong way in painting mandalas on stones. Mandala painting is meant as meditative practice that Buddhists and Hindus use a lot in their religious practices, and I especially like the Tibetan Buddhist practice of making mandalas on the ground, beautiful, gorgeous and gigantic mandalas from sand, and they really put all their effort into it and make these gorgeous patterns, and when they're done they go and dance on it and it just all flies into the air, and it's kind of metaphor for their practice, which is that they don't like to hold on to stuff. You're not supposed to be too attached to anything on this earth, because everything can go, and the attachment only causes problems in their opinion. I don't think it's possible for a mom to not be attached to her kids, but I'm not a Buddhist, so I don't know. Maybe they can do it. It would definitely eliminate suffering if anything was to happen. And here's my little stone painted. I hope you liked it. I will show you some more, and I hope you try it because it's really, really fun. And I'm sure you won't regret it if you do. Have fun, enjoy, and see you next time. Bye bye!